Mets Daily coming to you live from the grand opening of Mets House NYC. We're in Union Square, and this place is slammed. First live show. Welcome to the program. Subscribe, smash that thumbs up on the channel, comment below on the video. This place is a zoo. Doc Gooden was here. Todd Zeile was here. And, you know, the Mets are doing all sorts of deals. They got game use stuff. It's pretty sick. It's a little small and packed, but it's a very cool space. We're on the stage area where there is grass, like you're at Citi Field. And, you know, if you remember back in the day, Mets Clubhouse by Grand Central was a staple store that every Mets fan went to. But now it's Mets House. So they got rid of the club. So there's no crying in the club because there is no club. We're at the house of the Mets.
So we got Mr. and Mrs. Met. Come
And
take a photo with Mr. and Mrs. Met.
DJ's here, live music. It's a blast. And, you know, I think this is important to spread the hype around the Mets. I mean, we've seen this team and what ownership has done, what the front office has done, all the cool things they're doing, and they're really investing in this team. And this is an investment. They put a store out here. You know, you could get tickets for no fees, which is pretty cool. They're going to have events and activations. I think this is important. You know, what Juan Soto brought is a certain aura to the Mets and a certain this is cool. And while they got rid of the club name and it's not as cool, this is cool. And Terrence knows that it's cool. It is a great crowd here. Mobbed, absolutely mobbed. Everyone's buying hats. I'm going to get the spring training hat. You know, we talk a lot of, you know, what's going on in the world. The big news in the world of the Mets house is what is the Mets house 2026 going to look like? And will that include Vladimir Guerrero Jr.? The latest on Vladdy, he proposed a contract to the Blue Jays for 15 years and less than $600 million. If you do the math, and my mom's a math teacher, that's around $40 million a year. That's fair money in today's, as crazy as that contract sounds, it's fair. It is $40 million, but think about that. Aaron Judge makes 40, Juan Soto makes 46 to 51. For Vladdy to get paid 40, it's not a crazy ask. It sounds crazy. The 15 years is crazy, but you got to remember the guy's in his prime, and Juan Soto just got 15. So if Soto's getting 15, you bet your ass that Vladdy's going to ask for 15. So should the Mets call Vladdy next winter? Of course they should. Of course. They got to give him a ring. You think about Vladdy, Lindor, Soto, and we've talked about it here before with Mark Vientos. It could be a revelation. So that's the big news of the day is the off-season stuff. And I think the Mets have to go in for Vladdy. If they don't get him, you know what? They have good backups. If Pete opts back in, they have Pete. They have Ryan Clifford. They have the prospect I spoke to on the show yesterday in LaRusso, Nick LaRusso. So they have corner infielders if they don't bring back Alonso and if they don't decide to pursue Vladdy. But you bet your ass Steve Cohen is calling Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s agent next winter and making a play. And why not? How can you not salivate at that? Los Mets back in charge. That's how it should be. And it would be incredible. But again, we're at Mets House NYC, Union Square, right across the street from Union Square. I'm Jake Brown at Jake Brown Radio. Subscribe to Mets Daily. Smash that thumbs up. Comment on the channel below. Thanks for joining us, the first live edition of the program, 2 months in. I believe today's our 2-month anniversary of the show. So on our 2-month anniversary, we're at the opening of Mets House. And if you love the Mets Clubhouse, you will love the Mets House. It is a fun time. It's a great atmosphere. And, you know, they're going to do a lot of cool stuff here. And it's a good space to get things done, to do events, to get Mets fans hyped about a season that I think we're all salivating to start. You know, I'm sick and tired of hearing people talk about spring training results. And Juan Soto didn't make this catch in right field. Who the hell cares? The games don't matter. Would you rather them make an error now or at opening day when he's getting a rousing ovation? So pipe it down to the people who care about spring training statistics. Enjoy the baseball, enjoy the warmer weather, and let's get to work. This team is less than 3 weeks away from a trip to H-Town where they take on the Astros, and you bet your ass the fans on both sides are fired up. Because, call me crazy, that could be a potential World Series preview if someone takes down the Avengers in Hollywood. The Astros, I think, are a lot better than people are giving them credit for just because they lost some pieces in the offseason. So opening day is coming. We have an incredible matchup coming. And I think you're seeing the excitement of this fan base and what's going on right now. I mean, I think people are banding together, Mets chants in the streets. There is a certain pride level with this team that you feel something special. And when the Mets do go on a run, you'll look back on times like this and a show like this, and you'll realize, wow, the hype was real. And I think the Mets' kryptonite is themselves. If they are to suffer a ton of injuries and more guys go down, that is their kryptonite. We talked about the Avengers. What is their kryptonite? Same thing. It's themselves. This team is good enough. They have a good enough GM that will make moves at the deadline if needed. So now's the time to believe and to get hyped. So I wouldn't rip fans for getting hyped. I rip people for saying, this guy batted .230 in March. Who cares? Soak in the baseball. Soak in the weather. Soak in your time at Mets Daily. I believe Mets Daily will be open every day except for Monday. If someone working here, they'll tell me. But I believe Mondays they're closed and they're open the rest of the week. I think until 7 p.m., 8 p.m. So, stop by here. I'm going to get myself a hat, maybe a shirt. It's a vibe in here, and it's a good area. The train gets you right here. Union Square is right here. It was smart for them to put it next to Union Square because it could get people from Brooklyn, from Queens, Manhattan. Everyone could show up. The Mets didn't show up last night, but what's important, Sean Reed-Foley, a guy that the Mets put on waivers, is back. And shockingly was not claimed by anyone. So that means Sean Reed-Foley gets to go, if he chooses, to the minors. And the Mets keep a guy who's been hurt his whole career, but is coming off the best year of his career. Now it's only 2 months. That's great news. Edwin Diaz, I'm not going to lose sleep over an outing in March. Again, stop losing sleep over meaningless baseball. We're going to lose sleep for 162 nights coming up on March 27th. If you lose sleep on March 6th, I need you to seek medical attention. Your blood pressure's high. You might have diabetes. I don't know. But you need help. 3 weeks. That's when your blood pressure could raise. You could pop in an Ozempic and take care of yourself. But worrying on March 6th, folks, and people on Twitter, stop. Stop looking at stats. Let's have fun. Let's enjoy it. And, Sean Reed-Foley's going to have a chance to enjoy it. He's going to have a chance to make this team, maybe not at the start of the season, but to prove himself. A guy in 7 years of his big league career has not pitched more than 33 innings. That's not good. 7 years, that's a long injury track record. This is his chance at glory on a team that is expected to be glorious. The 2025 New York Mets. Again, Mets Daily. Comment below what you think of spring so far. What do you think of Mets House? Have you been here? Are you here? Are you watching? Let us know in the comments. Drop a comment what you think of the store. I love it. We got my guy here DJing, playing nothing but the hits. Well, he's pushing. He's the button pusher, and it's buzzing at Mets Daily, and it's buzzing at the Mets House. Now, I don't think any current players are coming today because they physically can't, unless Uncle Steve put them on a private jet to Manhattan for the day, which could be possible. But there are former Mets. There are autographs. There's my guys at Mets Pod will be here. And we'll be back here. I think it's important to, we want to do a lot of live shows and get you guys out to the state, to the ballpark, to the bars. It's so great to be back in New York this weekend. And I will have a story today on Mets on SI on LaRusso and my interview with him. And if you missed it, go watch it. But what he said Pete Alonso told him, he gave him advice. What did he tell him? You hear it on Nick LaRusso's interview yesterday, and you'll hear it in Mets on SI later today. Brandon Sproat making another start. I think that's great. I think it's great that they send him into the minors and then give them a chance. Like we talked about with Nick, he'll be in tomorrow's game on Saturday. I think it's good these guys get a cup of tea, they get humbled, they get sent down, and then they get that cup of tea back. It's 2 cups of tea. It'll cure a sore throat. It'll cure a sickness. I'm fired up for the Mets season. It's going to be a great weekend of baseball. More spring training baseball. Joey Meneses hits a double yesterday. I mentioned Joey Meneses on here as a name before. Another name this spring to keep an eye on if anything were to happen to Pete Alonso or if the Mets need another DH. They signed Joey Meneses early. He's in a prove-it deal on a minor league contract, and he's a name at some point this summer to keep an eye on if there are injuries as a depth piece. You remember Jose Iglesias? Goodbye, OMG, but don't forget about him. This is Jake Brown Radio. You're watching Mets Daily. Subscribe to the channel, share the channel, smash that thumbs up on the channel, comment below. And again, at Mets Daily Show on X, at Jake Brown Radio on X, Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe to my YouTube as well. This is Mets Daily. I hope you all enjoy the weekend. Again, come out here, Union Square West, Mets Daily, brand new store, tons of gear, game used stuff, hats, sports cards if you're a collector, all sorts of really cool stuff. So check out Mets House NYC. Thanks for them for letting me host Mets Daily from here today. And we'll see you on Monday. Enjoy the weekend. Jake Brown Radio checking out from Mets House. Thanks for watching Mets Daily.